135, 133. LeBron James puts it away with that drive out of the timeout. As Craig Bowerjack kind of put it, pretty simple. Pretty simple basketball. Let one of the all-time greats get the ball and go to work and win the game.
A good learning experience, though, Matt, for all those guys on the floor, like we mentioned earlier. So right here is paying attention to detail. We know what LeBron brings to the table, so obviously you want to try to keep the ball out of his hands. If not, he gets to a spot, uses his size, and gets all the way to the rim. And we've seen a lot this year in the NBA is if you don't get the ball out of the best player's hands, something good's going to happen. And now you're coming down the stretch. You don't have your normal first flow guys on the court. Now they're in disarray a little bit. You give THC a little bit of credit, Matt. He's able to break down, shoot it here at the end and get to a spot, just misses it. But at the end of the day, good experience for these guys on the floor. That's not a bad shot. We've been making shots all game.
No.
Making shots all game.
But Utah very, very shorthanded right now with injuries to Lauri Markkanen, the rookie Walker Kessler, Jordan Clarkson out as well. Talen Horton-Tucker is having the week of his NBA life in terms of scoring. He's averaging 31 a game over his last four. The former Laker was the leading scorer again tonight for Utah, but ideally, he's not necessarily the guy you want taking that shot. Everybody has their designated players, and he's not really that guy for Utah.
Exactly. But for him, it's still an opportunity to show the rest of the NBA he can get to his spots and get some good shots. And if Mark and those guys were playing, he'd be getting that ball out of a double team on the weak side of the floor, then he had more opportunities. 37
for LeBron, 28 for Austin Reeves. Anthony Davis with 21 and 14, and the Lakers have won 7 of 8. Wow. Golden State is playing right now. They are trailing Oklahoma City. For the moment, the Lakers and the Warriors have the exact same record, as do the L.A. Clippers, who the Lakers face tomorrow night back in L.A. Getting above that cut line, getting out of the play-in is a very real possibility for the Lakers after everything they've been through. Who would have predicted this 2 months ago? All right, but
ninth, OKC is in the final play-in spot. The Mavs have fallen to 5 games under 500. They sit a game out of the 10th spot. And then you see the Jazz, who the Lakers play tonight at 36. What happened? I just blacked out. No, I'm just kidding. Hello and welcome back to Sportsnet Lakers, driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. Chris McGee, Big Game James, Derek Fisher. Small panic, but disaster avoided. The Lakers are getting on the plane 4-0 on this road trip, heading back to play the Clippers tomorrow. 3 games over 500, 4th win in a row, 7-1 in their last 8, up 10 with 1:31 left. Jazz go on a 10-0 run, and the Jazz actually take the lead in overtime, but the Lakers find a way to get it done. LeBron James with 9 of the team's 11 points in the extra frame. You'll take it, and you'll get on that plane, and right now you're in the 6th spot.
Again, I think the key word you said is avoidance. And sometimes in an 82-game schedule, you have to avoid some things. And this game was one of them. Last game of a road trip, last game of a successful road trip, going back to L.A. tonight with a big game tomorrow against the Clippers. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Lakers would have liked to finish better, would have liked to execute it better. They did some good things. They hit a lot of free throws, 27 free throws. They had 62 points in the paint. So there were some good things, but the execution down the stretch, they kind of let it go, and a hungry, young Utah team stayed in it and forced no overtime. But I'll take this 10 out of 10 times if I can walk away with it if it's the last game on the road going back home. I'll take it.
Yeah, no, in this league, you take every win that you can get regardless of the circumstances. It'll be nice for them to all look better at times. But those things don't show up at the end of the season. It just says wins and losses, not how you won, how you lost. You just take the win. We shouldn't be surprised. At times it looked like the energy dipped right late in the game and into overtime. But with a week-long road trip and then this 4th game being in Salt Lake City, over the course of the game, you could see how the fatigue would start to kick in. Got a little stagnant. There were a couple minutes there where LeBron was really the only guy touching the ball consistently and or taking shots. And that's when some of the momentum started to turn.
Yeah, you hate that the starters had to play over 42 minutes in a game like this where you were hoping maybe they'd get some rest, get ready for that Clipper game. But like you guys said, you take the win. You're now tied with the Clippers in the standings. Warriors are in a close one right now with OKC, and the Pelicans lost. So good news. Let's go back to Salt Lake City. LeBron is with Mike Trudell.
All right, LeBron, probably not exactly how you drew things up here, but end up getting the job done. Can you just take me through the action where you get the game-winning hoop there?
I drew it up. I wanted to go quick, so at least if I missed it, they came down. We got to stop. We got another crack at it. And then I had to redeem myself at the end of the regulation. I smoked the layup. I mean, going to my left hand, my strong hand, for me to miss that, I had to make up for it, and I was able to make up for it.
All right, so this road trip, I know technically the Clipper game is a road game, but 4-0 on the trip, you put yourself in a much better position going in to try to secure a top 6 pick, LeBron. What do you see that's building? The top 6 seed, I should say.
Listen, man, it's all about chemistry. The more minutes we can get on the floor with one another, the better we'll be. And even though this team, haven't been playing, up to their standards over the last couple of weeks, they still got competitors, they still got pros. So we didn't come in here with the mindset of saying, okay, let's blow them out. We came in with the mindset, let's get a win, and however that may come. So it took us 53 minutes, but we was able to get it done.
In an overtime like that, when things do get bogged down, what are the things that you're trying to get on offense, trying to get AD going, trying to get yourself to the rim?
Well, in the second half, they was definitely not trying to let AD play. You can see they was doubling him on every catch. So we had to be ready on the perimeter to make plays. But, AD was still being aggressive. But, in overtime, even though they started the overtime with a 3-point play, it's all about just keeping your composure, knowing 5 minutes is an eternity. So for me, I just try to slow the game down in those moments, which I was able to do.
Last one for you now. How much, LeBron, are you thinking about just the next game versus this big picture thing of trying to secure a top 6 seed?
I'm thinking about putting my feet in the ice bucket right now, to be completely honest. I haven't played that many minutes in about 5.5 weeks. I'm thinking about getting my body ready, mentally prepared for tomorrow, and then when tomorrow get here, we'll see what happens.
All right, go do that. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
LeBron James in Utah kind of felt like a home game at times for the Lakers, like it does often when on the road. The Lakers able to pull that one out. They had a 10-point lead, 124-114 with 1:30 left. Jazz, got to give them credit, forcing overtime, but the Lakers do go on to win 7-1 in their last 8 games. They put themselves, as Mike said it perfectly to LeBron, in a much better position. Let's start with LeBron. He hasn't played that many minutes in a long time. He hasn't had to go Bron mode in a long time. Fish, 37 points, 14 of 27. 9 of the team's 11 in overtime. And as he said, he kind of tricked that left-handed layup at regulation. So he felt he owed everyone one.
Yeah, I mean, the minutes have continued to increase as he's returned from the month-long absence.